Hello, hello. Happy Sunday, guys. Donna, I wrote down Donna Poltz. I don't know why I was going to say Plutz. Donna Poltz, you were the first to comment on the live. So email me or message me and let me know what e-packet you want, and I will get that off to you today. All right? So, hello, hello. Pat, you stopped painting the hydrangeas so you can watch. Well, good. So glad to hear you're painting. I have been. If you can't tell, I already have paint on me. I have a fun little tutorial to share with you guys. Nothing like a project, but there are some things I want to talk to you about and tell you about. So, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get started and share this with you guys. Okay, it's 3:05. I'm going to move my camera down here. So, if you're new here and you've not joined us before, welcome, welcome. Hello, Marlene. So good to see you on. So 2 weeks ago we did, or 3 weeks ago, we did the daffodil. This is up on my YouTube channel. You can watch the lesson. And then we did the tulip, which, silly me, painted it on the back. The original, right on the back. So we did this last week, and the winner of my piece that I painted last week, and you don't have anything on the other side except the name there, is Molly Ann. Molly Ann Stocks. Your name came up on the wheel. So you will get my original, and I have your mailing address. So I'm going to show you a couple things, and then I want to tell you a couple things, okay? So I love mixed media. It's one reason I love working in my art journal so much, because I can just sit there and play with products. So I did this, oh my goodness, 2016, 17 maybe. Let me think. Maybe 2017, 2018. Anyway, at the Society of Decorative Painters, they had their convention in Florida, and this was my make and take. So I played around with some things, and what I want you to see, let's see if you can see it from the side view. Okay, that's just, stamped ink and paint. Well, I have a surprise product, a little unexpected for us painters. Not sure if you use it, but can you see how raised that image is? Not sure if you can or not. Well, there's a special something that makes that raised and happen. So same thing on here. You'll notice it's a little bit shiny. All right, and that's just on a journal page. And then I love to create just on weird things, right? We painters, we crafters, we mixed media, all of it, we like to create and paint on surfaces. So I picked this up at the Dollar Tree, and it just has all these fun little tabs, and I painted one up. So it's not completely done. In fact, I'm working on something for my membership group. But I gessoed the pages first, and then I just sat and played and created. So I have to tell you guys, I had this one done from, I don't know, maybe 4 months ago, 5 months ago. And yesterday I was in such a creative mood. I grabbed all my stuff and I had a creative session in my studio for probably 4 or 5 hours, just playing. I didn't have any thoughts of what I wanted to do. I just started creating. And again, that leads me back to why I love creating in my art journal, because I can sit down. If I don't like it, I can put gesso over it. I haven't ruined, a $10 surface. So these are gessoed. They have paint. They have stamps. I have this stamp set. It's Tim Holtz. I have that on my website. I did her yesterday. She just makes me happy. But one thing I want you to see, can you see that glitter? Oh my goodness gracious. So I'm going to show you how I did that. Okay. And then nothing. Got to do something there. And then this page. And this has so much yummy color on it and metallics. And yeah, so again, go grab a book at the Dollar Tree and gesso on it and use it. Now, what I will say is I used a little too much water. Do you see how it's starting to separate there? So it's a good idea to seal it before you start. Either everything has gesso or you put a sealer on it, like the multi-purpose sealer or matte medium. But I didn't really care. It did go right down the middle. So I just extended her face and everything right into the groove there. Okay, but isn't that fun? Fun, fun, fun. We're going to do some tags, and we're going to do that. But I want to share and show something with you guys. So I mentioned last week that I have a membership group. If you've heard it once, you probably have heard it 1,000 times. I do have a membership group, and you can go to my website, which is right there, and check out all the information about my, it's called The Adventures of Art and Art Journaling. And pretty much everything we create is in the art journal, but you can take it outside the art journal, like the jar of purple hydrangeas I did. I took that and brought it to you guys on a canvas, on one of my Facebook Lives. Same thing with this. This was my journal cover, and I painted that as a lesson. And anytime I do a lesson with my group, if I bring it outside onto another surface and share that or create a pattern packet, my members automatically get a free pattern packet because it's one of the lessons that I taught them. So I just want to go through my art journal real quick to kind of give you an idea of what we create and paint and do. You don't have to know how to draw. I provide a pattern. However, I also do drawing exercises and things to kind of stretch our creativity. So this was my word of 2022. So far, I'm doing okay. Can't say that my diet is the same or any of the other resolutions I made, but I am working out some balance with my creative time and my family. And anyway, okay, so not all the pages are done, but I'm just going to flip through. We just did this one the other day. Dogwood. You'll see duplicates because my original's in there. We're also doing the flower of the month. Every month this year, one of our lessons is the flower of the month. And my members, hello, here's a sneak peek of what we're going to paint tomorrow. Tomorrow, February's flower is violets. So I will get this loaded for you guys, the information, either later today or first thing in the morning. But basically, the lessons are live. They're recorded. You can watch them and create whenever you have time. And we just do an array of everything. So if I have members in the chat, I'd love for you just to tell people how much you love it. Oops. This was another page we did in January, or maybe the first lesson in February. We also have quarterly Zoom classes that are free to my members so that I can see y'all's face. Instead of you just seeing me and listening to me, we get to see each other and talk and create for 4 hours. So again, just a bunch of different stuff. It's not just about decorative painting. It's mixed media. It's learning how to create fold-out pages. Just fun time. Backgrounds. We go into backgrounds. All seasons, all things, I should say. Again, another fold-out page. Whatever kind of strikes my fancy that I want to create and share with my group. I showed them how you can take greeting cards and cut those. And this was the greeting card right here, and I just created a painting around her, around the card. But I'm a card saver, so it's a great way to use your cards, save the cards, and use them in your art. Some Tracy Weinzapfel stamps. I don't even know what this page, the leaves were on a card that I got. And then the flowers were as well. So this is a dimensional flower. So I cut those out, put them on, and then used her stamps to create the rest. Love this little guy, this bunny. We did that last year. And again, just, using stamp stencils, but I'm a firm believer that you should use what you have. If that means you're using, paint to make texture, bubble wrap to make texture, you don't have to break the bank and buy everything. I'm one of those that likes to have everything though, so I have to balance. Another background, I've not taught this one yet, but I plan to. Love, love, love this background. Again, duplicate bunny. What do we have here? This is one of my favorite pages that we did last fall. talking about gratitude. And I showed him how to, create this flap for the page. Any of these designs, any of these lessons can be taken outside the journal and put on any surface. Like I said, we did a little drawing lesson, how to make flowers that are symmetrical using shapes, seeing shapes. That one's upside down. And again, just a lot of fun, great supportive group of ladies. Just did that with Heart Party. Many of y'all did that as well. Love it. She's upside down. Hello. So anyway, if you have any questions at all, you can email me. You can go to my website and hit the contact button and message me with any information. The membership tabs are there. They will be going away at the end of the month though. And the price is going up because in April I have something coming up and I will reopen the doors to my membership officially in April. Okay. Fun little thing I did with my group. We talked about containers and flowers and how to create a design. So they oh gosh, they blew me away. Creating their own designs with the steps and the techniques that I shared and showed how to lay out a design. So it's not just all about painting. We talked about mediums, so I showed them different crackle mediums and stuff. Now I'll go over that page, with gesso and paint it up. So I love Chinese lantern flowers. And I think that's it. This was the journal page we did. And then of course I took that and brought it to you guys here on my Sandy McTier Designs page on a Sunday in the studios with me lesson. And yeah, so that's what happens. A lot of times that will lead to me thinking, oh, I can put that on a canvas. Okay, I got happy mail. I have to share my happy mail. So I love homemade cards. I'm a card saver, like I said. I haven't thrown one of these cards away yet. This is from my good friend, Cookie Trent. And then, isn't that pretty? So many layers and just so pretty. And then my sweet friend, Marianne Andresia. I always say your last name wrong, even though we've been friends for how many years? Anyway, isn't this so cute? And so just love this card. I've saved every single one of the cards that she has sent me because they are a piece of art, I think. So isn't that pretty? So yes, the art journal. Thank you for answering that, Sue. I will hold up the cover here for you. I don't have them in stock right now. I have a call in to find out where my back order is. But what I love about these is that you can remove the pages. And then when you're done, you can put it right back in. Okay. So, and I like to do my whole page. I don't typically tape off or anything. I just like it going right to the edge. I did tape this one because I did a border, but you can see how I just usually take it right off the edge. And having it be able to come out of the book, you're able to do the tabs as well. So isn't that just the yummiest background? Oh, I love that. In fact, you know what I think I'm going to do? It just hit me. I need to scan this in and create a collage piece of paper with that on there because it's just so yummy. Alrighty. So my other happy mail I got this week, my friend Tracy Moreau gave me this beautiful bracelet. She ordered one for herself and then she was like, oh, that looks like Sandy. So how sweet is that to, get a nice little goodie in the mail. Thank you, Tracy. And then I also got, I think I shared this, but I don't know if I showed it to you guys, but I got from General Pencil and my sweet friend Kathy Hansen, the Masters brush cleaner. You can use it for your stencils. This is by far the best stain remover. So you can go to, you know what? I don't think I have her on here. But Kathy Hansen's website, if one of my sweet friends, is that a mixed media book? It's in Mixed Media Pages, Annette. So yes. But if you go to Kathy Hansen's website, I will see if I can find that link and put it up. But it cleans your rubber stamps, your clothing, your fabric. I have paint on everything I own. So I don't care. But it removes makeup and grease and red wine and blood and coffee and so many different things. But it's just a great, I have a one that I keep with my art when I travel in my little art stash, kind of like a survival kit. This is actually what it is. This and this little soap. So, but isn't that fun? So I am going to be doing a couple little tutorials and show you guys what I do with it, why I use it, why I have instantly fallen in love with it. And I know when I put it on my page the other day, so many of you have said that you've used it forever and how great it is. So I'm going to be doing a little video with that. And again, how I wash my brushes, stamp stencils. And my friend Kathy said she even uses it to wash her hands because it doesn't dry them out. I don't know about y'all, but my hands usually look like I'm 90 years old because of all the water and washing and hand sanitizer. Okay, let's get busy because I have something fun to share. Okay. Oh, I was going to show you this other happy mail. Hello. My other happy mail was I got new stamps in. So Stampendous has, this is signature script. And I'm just going to take it out of the package. Kind of hard to see. But that's fun for backgrounds and cards and whatnot. And then I love this one. Just rip it off. This sunflower, isn't that pretty? Oh my goodness, I cannot wait to create with that. And then a 2-piece, I'm going to leave that in because I will lose that little lavender piece, no doubt. But 2-piece, 6x6 there. Probably my favorite, though, is this one. And I'm going to use this today. How pretty is that? Oh, and that is Floral Flutter. Cute name, too. And then a little sunflower and wishes honeybee kisses. Super cute. So you can find those on my website. In fact, let me move that and give you the one that has my discount code. So my members, you have a different discount code. You actually get a better discount being part of my my membership. But art, all capital letters, and you can get a discount on my website. Alrighty, let's move that out of the way. I'm going to open this one because I'm going to use it today. Okay, and these come with, it's a cling, let's see right here. Okay, I leave this on. If you go to peel it off, what's going to happen, let's get rid of that. What's going to happen is your image is going to go with it. So I use that as my helper to lay my stamp down. All right, I'll move that. Okay, so the, what is it? I'm trying to think of the word, the mystery product that I'm using today. I was just looking for that's the problem I have. You should see my studio. I have 50 things laying around and not one of them is what I need. Okay, the mystery item that we're going to be using today is Watermark Stamp Pad. I'm going to zoom in, and I'll zoom in and zoom out just a little when we get to like the journal page, which is a little bit bigger. Okay, guys, so real quick as well, I'm not going to look at the comments a lot because we'll be here for 3 hours, but I will occasionally look up and answer what I can, but I will go back at the end and answer all of your questions, okay? So we're going to use, or I'm going to show you how I used the Versamark, because I couldn't find this one yesterday, so guess what? I had to go buy one. And they didn't have the WOW products, but Versamark, it's a watermark stamp pad. I also have a watermark resist from Ranger. I know there is another one that has, I want to say it's LDRS, Little Darling Rubber Stamps, has one as well. But anyway, you want to look for the watermark resist or watermark embossing pad because the ink's not going to dry as fast. All right, so I'm going to move these out of the way and tell you the next thing we're going to be using is going to be embossing powder. So This is what I used on the butterflies. Can you see that shine? And you can paint right over it. Oh, I just love this technique. So I did the same thing on that one. And then this little tag has embossed glitter. That's also in the wow. Let's see, not that one. Here it is. The sparkles glitter. So this one isn't embossed glitter, but you can get it. So see, that one says embossing glitter. Okay. And I also have an embossing pen. Could I find it for this lesson today? No. But what's cool about it, a pen, let me find something in my journal. If I had an embossing pen, I could take that pen and just do a couple little accent lines, or I could go over the whole thing. So think of like cloisonne type designs. Like Tracy Moreau has several that are really pretty where she does the foil, and I could so see doing that with embossing powder. Okay. So hello guys. Hi Paula. Okay, thank you so much, Marcia, for liking, commenting, and sharing. You're entered into the drawing, as of all of you that have liked, commented, and shared. Okay, so what I did first was I gessoed the tag. Now, that might sound easy, and these tags are from Sheila Landry. I know one of my friends will pop that into the comments there, because I'm not sure that I have. I do, right there. Okay. I don't know the number on them, but they're 3. They come 3 to a set, and they're these large wooden tags. Love them. So that's Sheila Landry's site, and she's amazing. Ships quick and does great work. Okay, so to apply the gesso, I did that on both sides, so I'll do it here for you. We're going to use my favorite gesso, which is hiding from me. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, so my Decor Media Gesso is my favorite, and I'm going to apply this with a palette knife. Your hands look like you're 90. Oh, my sweet 90-year-old friend Norma Jean. They do, don't they? Okay, so I'm just going to take a palette knife, and you know what? You do want to make sure your palette knife is clean, especially on the back, because it will create more texture in your gesso. So if you don't want that, make sure you clean those knives. All right, so I'm going to pull that out, and I'm just going to let it stutter. Okay, so these tags have been sealed with the multi-purpose sealer. All right, so I just gave them one coat, both sides, and the sides as well, because you'll see how much moisture, how much I put on here. So this is basically what I did, and I just spread it out thin until it was covered like that. And I didn't care if everything was covered. You can still see some of the tag. You can see it's lighter in some areas, it missed some areas. That's fine too. All right, so move that out of the way. That's how on this piece I got so much texture, was the gesso in the background. You can just see the creases and stuff. It just adds incredible texture. So let's wipe that off. Okay, so I did this one earlier, so it's dry. And then I'm going to stamp. Let's do, I think I want to do this on the journal page. So I'm going to hold off on that. Can you tell I like butterflies? I think it's my spirit animal, although it's not animals. Let's just go ahead and do this butterfly. And I think I'll do it a couple times. Okay, and then you need the watermark ink. Now, hello, my stamp had ink on it, so it got here. So the first time I did it, I used a newer stamp, didn't have as much ink on it, and it came out clear. All right, but because I used this several times yesterday, and then I also stamped a butterfly in black, it got my ink pad dirty. Okay, so we're going to put that right there. And then I'm going to get a piece of paper, and we'll lift that up. Okay, it's a little sticky too, so that, but hopefully you can see how it glistens. It's a little on the wet side. And then I'm gonna lay that down. Put the embossing powder right over it, and you can get embossing powder just about anywhere. I have a couple, Seth Apter, my friends at Emerald Creek have embossing powder. I got this one at Hobby Lobby yesterday because I didn't have a black, and I wanted to do this in black. Okay, so we need to leave that open, Sandy. All right, and then we will tap it off. Okay, and then I can just go around with a little mop brush if I want, just a tiny little brush to get rid of the excess, because I don't want that powder to create little dots anywhere. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, let's move that out of the way, my heat tool. Okay, so my Ranger Heat It tool is going to emboss this black. So now it takes a second, but what's so cool is when you start seeing it turn, it gets super shiny, and it happens like, then all of a sudden the whole thing starts turning. But basically you're turning a powder into a hard enamel. It's like a hard enamel. I don't know technically if it is, but it's certainly what it feels like and what it looks like. So I'm just going to heat that up. Hopefully you'll start to see it turn. I remember the first time I saw this, I thought it was like magic. But it's kind of dull, right? It's got like little white specks in it almost, like sand. Now, if I were working on something, even thin paper, I would move my gun around a little bit more. Hello, start. I told you, it takes a while. That's why I did several before, so I could show you. They're starting to turn. See how that black just got really, really black? And basically it's melting and becoming a solid. I really hope you can see that turn. Okay, now if you're a card maker, scrapbooker, you probably are very familiar with embossing powder and embossing inks. Not typically something in the painting industry that we use, but one day I was thinking about, a resist technique, and this just, I was like, hello, I have all that embossing powder except black, but I have black now, so. Okay, think we're almost there. Alrighty, so look at that sheen and shine. Oh, so pretty, right? So I'm gonna let that cool off for a second. Don't touch it, Sandy, it's hot. And I don't wanna lift anything if it's still too warm. So I'm gonna leave that for now. And then while that is setting up, I'm gonna get my journal page that I have already gessoed. I did it the same way I did this tag. So, but on this one, I left some spaces. So it just stuttered down the page, and I love the way that looks. Now, there are other embossing powders. You don't have to use black. I like it because it's like a line drawing, right? So I'm gonna get this butterfly. Oops, what's that? I noticed that in the packaging. I think it's just lint. Okay, so now when you are done with your stamps, you definitely want to wash them because this is very sticky. And even this morning when I lifted up some of my stamps I had used, there was still a residue. So highly recommend that you wash them well with soap and water. If you use hand sanitizer, you want to make sure that you wash that off because it will make your stamp brittle. Okay, So I'm going to put that, let's just do it right there. Okay, I'm going to close that up for now. Oh, it's going to be so pretty. Okay, and then I'm just going to take that powder that I had from before. Probably will have to get more. Yeah. Okay. So the heat tool is what makes the embossing powder heat up and go from a powder to a solid. And my favorite, of course, is the Ranger. Now, when you put this back in, it's a good idea to put it on another piece of paper because even though I have this craft mat here, it's very sticky, this rubber, and it loves powder. So then I will, oh, look at that detail. Oh, love it, love it, love it, love it. And then same thing, and I just put that right back in as well. So again, a small little brush or mop, you know, like if you got an area, got a little bit on the side there, the ink pad touched here. If you don't want it, just wipe off that powder. Put all that back in. Just throw that off. Okay, now let's go ahead and heat that up and I'll try and look at the comments. Hello, Deb. Yes, embossing. All right. So again, put that black embossing powder on there. You do want to try and get rid of, you know, like if there's extra little bits here and there, try and get rid of those. So that unless you want black little specks, you can have black little specks if you want. But it's going to resist the paint and anything else I put on top. Oh, see how that's starting to turn black compared to the rest? And I'm holding it off to the side because it, you know, the paper's going to get a little hot. Look how pretty that is and shiny. Okay, we're going to move that out of the way. And we're going to come to this one. I do want to stamp just regular. I'm going to go ahead and stamp with my regular ink, my Stays On ink, if it'll stay on, hello, onto that. I've not done ink over that embossing ink, so hopefully it will work. All right, and then let's do one there. And I don't even care if it's perfect, but see, it's just a little on the side when you compare it to that embossing. All righty. Okay, cool. So move that out of the way. And so today to paint, I'm going to use my my DecoArt media line because it's my favorite paint to paint with. And I really love the background on this. So I'm going to show you how I did the background on that, on this piece right here. Okay. So the first color is transparent yellow iron oxide. Now again, it's been sealed. Looking for a big brush here. And I'm just going to get it wet first. If you've got a little spritz bottle, you can spritz it. But just get that nice and wet. And then I'm going to throw on some yellow iron oxide. Now, these fluid acrylics, if you're not familiar with them, they're highly pigmented. They are a little bit pricier than our normal, like Americana paints. However, they are the best. A little goes a long way, and primarily all of them, with the exception of a couple colors, are transparent, and that's what I love about them. I love layering color. Now, as with most mixed media projects, and the term mixed media is it's all in layers, okay? So you continue to add and add different mediums, stamps, stencils, paint, colored pencil, markers, you name it. But you have to dry things. So that's going to take us a little bit of time today, the drying process. All right. So I don't even care if this is streaky, because I'm going to put other colors on it. But what I want you to notice is see how vibrant that still is and how knocked back those are, just because the ink isn't as strong. The other thing is that black does not have paint on it. Okay. It just glides right over it. So let's get something I wish I had stock in, baby wipes. Oh, let me show you this. This is what I'm talking about. So see, it's sticky. So I'm going to take, I found my stamp scrubber that my friend Laura Haberstraw gave me, and it comes dry. You can put water on it. But what I did, what I found worked best, is I just put some hand sanitizer on it. And then I took my stamp and I rubbed it back and forth. And then I gave it a bath with a little soap and water. Okay. Now what I'm going to try this week with that Masters Touch soap that they said you can use on rubber stamps and everything, I'm going to give that a little test too, and I'll let you guys know on my video I do for it how it works. But there, it's all clean. Rinse that off. You don't want the hand sanitizer drying out your stamp. Now let's do some color. So I have some Dari Lied Yellow. It sounds better if you say it with a southern accent. Dari Lied Yellow. All right. Just curious, what type of hand sanitizer do you use? Faye, I like the Germ X. I don't know if I got it at Walmart or Target, but I don't know. That's just, it's not real harsh on my hands, but I have had some that are very harsh. Okay, so a little Dari Lied Yellow. And I've got to find the color I used. Phthalo Blue. Phthalo Blue. Alrighty. So, just get a small brush, doesn't matter what size. Do this 12 flat. And I'm not going to use all of my my brush for everything. I'm going to use my fingers. Because I'm a firm believer that if you've got paint on your hands, you've had a productive, fun day. It's all about playing and creating and just testing. There again, another reason I like working in my art journal, because I can test how something's going to work. Or if I don't like it, like I said, I can put gesso over it. And my rule is I never throw any page away. I just go over it. And I have some that I've gone over 6, 7 times. Okay, so I'm going to get my brush wet, tap it off. And then a little bit of Dari Lied Yellow, little bit of Phthalo Blue. And I loved what happened when these two colors met and married. I just thought it was super pretty green. I'll get a little bit of that. I'm just going to use my fingers. Okay, and then we'll get a little bit of quinacridone gold. I do want some more quinacridone gold by itself. See, it gets a little brown when you put that green with it. It's got that red tone to it. I'm just going to kind of be messy and get that on. Get it wet and let it drip. Okay, kind of get that same little coloring. You can put stamps, you can put collage paper. That's what I did on that other tag, was just put a little bit of collage paper in the corners. But really what I wanted to share and show you guys today was all about that embossing powder. How cool it is to create with that in your mixed media pieces, in your art journal. I think it's a game changer. So, I'll get my Mr. bottle here. Okay. And then if you want a little bit more, like if I wanted this bluer up here, more blue, like I'm loving the colors here. I use the Tim Holtz decoupage paper in the background. If I wanted it more blue, I would want to dry what's already green. Or if I keep putting blue on top of it, it's not going to be blue. Okay, because everything's still too wet. But I'll hold this up so you can see all that incredible texture from the gesso. Oh, I just love it. And again, my butterfly has color on it. Let me get a little bit of that out of the wing. But the black still shows up really, really nice, right? Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit of blue. I should have waited till that was not so hot. Okay, yeah, I love that phthalo blue. Okay, move that around a little. Just play and have fun. All right, so I'm going to take, it reminds me of all right. Take a baby wipe, get my fingers look clean. Surprising I have a manicure, right? All righty. And then I'll just take a little bit of color on the butterfly. So I think I'll use the blue because I like the way it shows up. Just on the toe. So I'm using an angle brush. It has a toe and a heel. And the toe is the longer part. I have paint just there. And then we'll come here and I'm just gonna, oops, a little too much water. I'm just gonna flatten that and work that into the toe and just kind of walk it over to the right a little bit. I don't want that harsh color. I want something a little bit lighter. And then I'll just bring that color right in here. And just give it a little bit of color. I'm not going to paint it in heavily. I love that you can still see the background through it, but it pulls that blue in from the background. You could paint right over this, you know, make it a monarch or whatever butterfly you wanted to. The lines are going to stay there because it's embossed. Okay, so look at that. How cool is that? All right, so I would put that aside and continue playing with it with some decoupage paper. Which heck, let's just put some decoupage paper on there. Okay, oops. I have anything down on this guy. Let's get a little bit of. Just making him a little bit on the yellow side. Alrighty. So I'm just going to take some decoupage paper since I have it right here and just rip it. I know I did a lesson a couple weeks ago on how to create your own decoupage paper. If you missed it, it's up on my YouTube channel. Super fun. I'm basically just going to tear. And then we'll use some matte medium. So matte medium, great product. You can use it as a decoupage medium. It will make your glossy colors more matte. right. And then I'm just going to put some of this matte medium on. If it were a little thicker paper, I would spritz it with some water just to relax it, but it's thin enough that I don't need to. And then I have a new something to show you guys. Hopefully it's going to work the way I hope it is, because I ordered 2 bags of them. A little bit more of that tissue paper. Okay, and just go right on it. And I'm just letting it hang right off the edge. I will take care of that with the cool tool that I got. Again, hope it works. I think it will. And then a little bit up there. So nothing exact. Again, just kind of play around with it. You could always fold that over if you wanted to, but let's dry it, and I'm going to show you how I took that paper off. Okay, always want to put your matte medium lid back on. Let's dry that up. And so, okay, so this is dry. Okay, so let's see if it's going to work, and then I'll tell you what it is. You probably already can tell. But this kind of hit me the other day when I went and got my nails done. So it is a nail block. Yeah, so thought that was cool. Little sanding block. And look how easy peasy. Get that paper right off. Okay, so now let's do, I'm going to take this flower and let's do, let's put a little bit of embossing glitter on, okay, because everything's better with glitter, right? So I'm not going to use the whole flower. I'm just going to use pieces and parts of it. And again, just kind of overlap it. So I think I will put one, decisions. I think I'm going to do right here. And I could cut out words, put words on, stencil words on here. Let's do one there. And then hopefully it's going to stay wet long enough. I think it will, that I can move this and emboss it all at the same time. Maybe a little up there. You know, I remember when I first started getting into classes and stuff, and taking classes and traveling to conventions and stuff, I do remember hearing some people say that, you know, stamps and stencils are cheating in decorative painting. Let me just say, let me cheat away. Because if I have a line drawing from a stencil or a gorgeous background because of this stencil or stamps, and I don't have to paint it, oh my gosh, that gives me more time to play around with my paint. Right? Okay, then we're going to take that glitter. Oh, I can't wait to see this. All right, let's see. The this Wow powder, I am going to definitely order some more. They have gorgeous colors. I got in Germany a couple years ago. Tracy Moreau and I went with DecoArt, and we were watching the demo. Oh, so pretty. You can see it glittery now, but it's really going to be pretty when we use the heat tool. So let me move that out of the way. We watched the Wow demo at Germany Creative Painting Show, Creative World. Hello. Creative Painting is happening in Vegas this month. I'm sad I'm not going to be there. All right. And then let's take our heat tool. And I don't know if you'll be able to see that turn, but I'm going to hold it up for you. Because right now it's just kind of crystallized. Elizabeth Hardman, that is a great tip. She uses the nail block or sanding nail block to in between her layers to smooth things out. That's a great tip. All right, I'm not going to sit here and do all 3 of these. Oh, but it's turned. Let's see if you can see the, yes, so pretty. So Again, better to see in person. So it has a little bit of that sheen and shine. You can see the little different colors in the flower, whereas this is still just the powder. Okay, so love, love, love the way that turned out. Okay, let me move that out of the way. We'll come over to our page because I also want to show you that I used the ink when I was looking for my pen. I know I have a pen somewhere, but I was looking for my pen to draw around the edges and just put the embossing around the edges. Couldn't find it, but then I thought, oh, I wonder if I can use my stencils. So the answer is yes. So I'm going to use my Stencil Pro. Again, definitely want to make sure you wash it out of your brush because it is sticky. Let me do diamonds. So I'll do those up here. And I'm just going to tap my brush into that ink pad. And just a soft little swirl. Doesn't matter if I have it everywhere. Meaning if a diamond is not completely finished, you know, the shape of it, that's okay. In fact, I'd like it just to kind of, oh, yes, that's going to be so pretty. And then I'll put a little down here. So I'm going to do a different color on here. And when you do the different colors, you want to, you know, emboss your black first, let it dry and all that fun stuff. And then your next color. So I'm going to get a piece of palette paper. Let's close that up and throw that brush in the water. And let's do pink. So this primary fuchsia. You could do several colors if you wanted to. I could lay, you know, a little pink and maybe even put a little gold on there if I wanted to, but I'm just going to stick with the pink. All right, then we'll come down here. Hello, Sandy. Oh, that's going to be so fun when we get that background on. All right. So I'm going to move this out of the way, trying to keep all that powder on there. And then I'll show you guys, if I know many of you have this this mat, it's a silicone baking mat. And when you use glitter and things like this, oh my stars, it's a little messy. So I will show you what you can use. A lint roller, or I just get, a lint roller is better because you're not gonna waste so much. But on here, I just lay that on and it picks up glitter, and sometimes it'll even take the paint right off if I give it a little bit of a burnish there. And then surely you can use this for something, right? Maybe washi tape, maybe paint the back. I saw a really cool idea. Someone stamping and stenciling the back of it and then using it in their mixed media. Okay, so I won't bore you more with that. Okay, let's see this pink turn. And I probably won't paint this whole page, but I will show you a couple little things that I would do to it. And then I'll keep playing around with it and add it to my journal. I do remember from when I took a class in England the first time we lived there, and my friend was a Stampin' Up! Consultant, and that was the first time I had ever seen embossing. And of course I had to have it all, so I bought a whole bunch of it. But I remember her telling me that don't move your tool around too much. You know, it needs that constant heat for it to start turning to that solid. If you move too quickly, you might just miss that moment where it's going to turn. But, oh, can you see the shine? Oh, it's like magic. Then you want to make sure don't be impatient. If you can see some grain texture in there, or a spot that's not as shiny as the rest, You might not have heated that area well enough, so make sure you do that. Okay, so again, gotta be a little patient with it. And I love when things overlap, so I just left that right on the butterfly, but I don't know if you can see it on camera, it didn't stick to the black. It only stuck around the black. Now, they do make heat tools that, you know, this probably could be done in like a minute. But first off, they're a little too hot for me, and I like how quiet this one is. It won't work with a hairdryer. It has to get hotter than a hairdryer. So it needs to be an embossing tool or a heat tool. Okay, how fun is that pink? Oh. Okay, it looks like a playing card, doesn't it? Okay, I'm going to give that a minute just to not be so hot. And I'm just going to come in and stamp just a couple little places. Not with the embossing ink. I'm just going to use regular Stays-On ink just to get a little bit of script in the back. My favorite vintage script stamp. Stamp right over that embossed area. All right. Close that. Stick that in the water there. Okay, and then let's paint it. Let's do something. Let's do something fun. What colors do we want to use? I tend to go to blue, as my members will tell you. I like a blue background. And I love this, and I think it'll go with the pink, so I have to go with my gut, right? So let's mist it with water. Where can I purchase a heat tool? Debbie, I have them on my website. So right there, and if you use the discount code, all capital letters, ART, you will get a discount as well. And I will ship it to you tomorrow if you order it today. I like to get my orders out as soon as I possibly can. And I love it because a lot of free things tend to jump into my packages as well. So now, before I started on this page, again, remember it was gessoed. I either gesso or matte medium my journal pages because I want to be able to move the paint around. So let's get messy real quick. Let's get some paper towels. We're just going to move this around. And I want to put some color on it just so you can see how that embossing resists that paint. Now it's going to go on the page, you know, like all those details, that will stay blue if I leave it. But I don't have to leave it if I don't want to. I can always come in and wipe it out with a brush. Oh, love. And I even love these little speckles of paint on the embossed area. So fun. It will help too. On the other side, you can see I'm getting paint on my hands. You're going to get paint on the back. If you go ahead and gesso the other side, it doesn't mean the paint's not going to stay there, but it'll be a little bit better protected. And once I get done with the page, I varnish it with my favorite soft touch varnish by Decoupage, or you can use their matte varnish. But I'm not a big gloss, which is funny because I love glitter, but that's shiny and pretty. But gloss is a little just too much for me on my journal pages. Okay, so see, I could come in if I wanted to take that off the little triangles there, but I like them triangles. Hello, the diamonds there. I am going to take some off the butterfly. Again, just to show you. Oh, it looks like I didn't heat that right there. What was the media ink you used? So you can get the Wow embossing, and Wow is actually in the UK. So the Wow company, the embossing powders and the embossing pad. You can also use any ink pad that is a watermark stamp pad. So this Versamark, the Ranger, watermark resist. Okay. I know, Lynn just said those colors are so vibrant, right? And again, the cool thing, I want to hold it up so you guys can see this, because it's almost like it's so hard to explain. It's a little plasticky feeling. And I love it. I love the way it holds its shape and color and that shine. If I wanted to take the shine down, I could put a layer of matte medium over it. Okay, and I'm gonna put some on, let me find the end of this paper. Hello. And let's just see how some stamps work over it and some decoupage paper. All right, so we'll get some matte medium. And I don't want to cover all of it, but I probably will just cover a little here. No, I don't want to put that there. Let's do it from the side. And that'll dry. So on my tabs here, I can stop it just short and cut it, or I can lay it over, let it dry, and then I just cut it out in between those notches. Okay, but what I want you to see is that I can put that right over that embossed area. Okay, and you can still see the color. It's so vibrant. And then let's do a stamp. Let's see if we can stamp over it with ink, which I have not tried. So we will find out together if it works. And y'all, that's probably my number one thing. If you are curious about something, oh, I wonder if that's going to work, grab your art journal, grab a piece of paper, and just give it a test. See if it's gonna work for you. All right, let's just use this one. So I just want to see if I can stamp right over the embossing. Get that on. I don't know why I'm inking my stamp like that. I usually do it like this. Just rub that on. Okay. And then we're going to do a little piece right here. Oh, yeah. Okay. So that goes right over that embossing. So cool. Okay, and we'll just do a little there. And this is kind of, you're getting into my mind of how I, when I have a little play sesh in my studio with my products, I'm not 100% sure of what I'm going to do. I haven't created this page before, and I just sit and play. And I listen, you want your intuitive thought of what to do next. It's there, I promise you. You just have to listen. So, and hear it. I don't always listen. And sometimes when I do, I just do what I want to do, and then I end up not liking it. So kind of go with your first gut thought. Oh, I'm digging this. So cool with that embossing. And that ink right over it. And I could come in and do that flower similar to how I did the butterfly. And let's see if let's zoom in just a little. See if I can get that to go on that embossing. Yeah, see, it's going to resist. So that would be a flower I just left blank, because I wouldn't want it just here and there. Okay, so I would, paint that one in, but anything overlapping, just know it's going to resist your paint unless you put a layer of matte medium. So remember, we put some matte medium up here. Let's just see if that paint, yep, see that paint will stick because it's sticking to the matte medium, not to the embossed area. Okay, so if you put some embossing down and you know that you want to paint that area, put a layer of matte medium over it, and that will allow you to paint in that area. All right. Oh, how much fun was that? Oh my goodness, loved that. And again, our glittered flower. Again, you can just see the outline of it. Oh, I really wish you could see that in person, guys. It's so pretty. And then, of course, the embossed. This is an embossing glitter. I think I said that. It's just the glitter. They're sparkles. So anyway, I hope that gives you some ideas to play around and create. I'm gonna look at the comments real quick. What are you using on your table? So Monica, this is a, hopefully someone will put it in the links, but if not, I will when we're done. From Amazon, it's an extra large silicone baking mat. So the beginning of 2020, I was revamping my studio and I thought I need something. So I have this big, huge piece of plexiglass on this. It's very large, even though I feel like I'm closed in right here with all this product. And then I wanted a mat, but all the mats that I found like at Hobby Lobby or Michael's or whatever are this thin little small ones. And I was using the mats like from the Dollar Tree, the cooking mats, cutting mats, but they were still too small. So I just went on Amazon and I put in silicone mat and baking mats came up, which I thought, hello, ding, ding. So I ordered it, have loved it. I have 4 of them. So on all my workstations, because I can use it as a palette and I can, I'll just come right down here. I can use it as a palette. I can come back in. That stays on ink will come right off it. I just have a baby wipe. So, and sometimes if I don't want to grab my palette paper, I just put my paint over to the side and use, you know, that as my palette. So, oh, thank you, Lori. Thank you so much. Does embossing powders get old? Bonnie, I'm not sure. Like I said, I've had some since, oh gosh, I don't even know if I have the, yes. This one, I don't even know if this company's still around, but it's All Night Media. And I paid $1.85 for that. That will tell you how old that is. And oh, and it's black. Hello. Hello. I didn't think I had black, but I've had this since 2000. So 21 years old, 21 years old. And I don't know, but I'm going to give it a try and I'll let you know if it works. Okay. Anyway, what else? Let's look. This is great. Thank you so much. Thank you guys. Thank you, Faye. Deb Antonick says no. So I would think not, since it's just a powder. It's like glitter. But you would, thank you so much, Chris, for putting that link in for the baking mat. I appreciate you. And all of y'all that have put links in and answered questions if you have, thank you. It's hard to kind of look up and answer, but also at the same time, I want you to feel like you're here with me. So thanks, guys. Pull out my embossing powders. Glenna, I have no doubt you will, and I can't wait to see what you do with it. All right, guys, thank you. If you have any questions at all, like I said, about my membership group, please let me know. I'll send you more information. You can find more information on my website, which is right there. Would love to have you. You're not locked into anything. If you sign up for a month and you decide it's not for you, you can cancel. If you sign up for a year, you get a better price. Talk to you later. Have a fantastic week. Get out those brushes, get out that paint, get out that embossing powder if you have it, and give it a try. All right? Thank you guys for being here and watching. Bye.